Happy Awaken Soul Wednesday. I am Miss Marie, and this is Giving It to You Straight live from the East Coast. Happy Wednesday, all my beautiful people. Family, I want to begin with deep gratitude for each and every one of you. Your presence here is not random, of course. You already know it is aligned. So thank you for your openness, curiosity, and your willingness to grow. Thank you for sharing your time, your energy, and your trust with me. And the sacred space exists because of all our shared intentions. It is to evolve, to awaken, and to love more consciously. So, of course, I honor the journey each and every one of you is on. And I honor the courage that it takes to seek truth. And I'm grateful that our paths have crossed in this moment. May what we build here continue to nourish, uplift, and expand us all. Your support is felt and your energy matters. And I'm thankful for that. That is humble and grateful. Yes, I am. Gratitude is the attitude to have. We have the awakened soul. I'm going to finish this life with gratitude energy for the moments of gratitude. Let's get some awakening. We have What's the Tea? A little sizzling hot. And family, gratitude is the most fastest way to align your heart. That is the shift from lack to abundance, from tension to trust. And so with that simple gratitude prayer, divine source of all life, thank you for this breath. Thank you for another day to grow. Thank you for what is working even in the times that I don't really understand. When it feels like overwhelming. Thank you for helping me see blessings in ordinary moments. May my heart remain aware and thankful in difficult seasons. And the hidden power in gratitude. It isn't just about being thankful. It does three things. It shifts your perception. You start seeing opportunities. It calms your nervous system. And it attracts more of the same state. And as you anchor, I choose to see what's already working. You repeat that. And you anchor your body. Gratitude anchors turns into manifestation. From random to intentional, it is you holding on to that frequency and how to create your heaven on earth. Let's go ahead. Happy birthday to all Aries. Welcome to the live, the awakened soul. Let's see what the awakened soul energy looks like for you today. And hi, William. Hi, William. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Let's step into the great power of the divine spirit of all there is as we move in harmony with the divine timing and celestial order. Calibration time. 67. One more Aries through Pisces. Let's go ahead to the gratitude. One more. One more. Aries, one more. And thank you. Sensuality. This shows up because of Venus's energy in your first house. All right. She offers you not only sensuality, because Venus without justice is not ethical to be grounded in that energy, but to feel, your sensual side, to explore. All right. So yeah, living more consciously, and your connection to Earth here. So grounded, staying present in the body, not just what you're sensing, what you're feeling. This is true. Being patient, waiting for results rather than rushing in. Okay. And your resources, handling your finances, energy, and time wisely. That's what essentiality is about. Desire for you, Taurus. Change for you, Gemini. Cancer, family. Shadow, Leo. You're March 26th. Tomorrow's your birthday, William. Happy birthday. And Virgo, shapeshifter. Shape shifting. Libra, authenticity. Perceptive, of course, Scorpios always gets from your perspective, from a higher level of awareness, your higher conscious mind, painting. But it's always, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, basically, right? Oh, so why you put March 26th? Silence, Sagittarius, knowledge, Capricorn, and Aquarius, the mirror, and Pisces, mantras, mudras, petitions, affirmations. One of the fastest ways here to feel more grounded, right? Before you get started in your day, do you do mantras, petitions, affirmations? How to awaken your soul? How do you know what your soul is telling you? Well, listening to the wisdom of the stars, walking in harmony with divine timing and order as the stars align, right? Knowing that you're guided, protected, and calibrated by cosmic intelligence, that you're part of this intelligence, as you understand, how does it feel when I'm aligned with cosmic fuel and a cosmic ground? You go from being stuck, frustrated to easy, joy, peace, gratitude, purpose, energy, synchronicity, attracting like-minded individuals. Let's go ahead. The awakened soul and the gratitude of power. Oh, you're July 29th. Oh, you're Leo. Hey, Leo. Leo, you got shadow. Leo, you got shadow work, right? And one of the best ways to do is spiritual work. You're consciously working on your inner self, your awareness, your integrity, and alignment. All right, not just your external life. A lot of us, we worry about the external life, but the inner work that needs to be done. All right, GT, thank you. All right, so you know what shadow work is? Because you guys got shadow. Maybe candle lightning, doing a couple of mantras, saying, some affirmations. Let's see what energy you get. Do you have a question? All right. So how you integrate your shadow, you're not pretending to be lying positive all the time. All right. It's owning your jealousy, your fear, your desire, your anger. It's learning how to use those energies wisely. All right. Living in alignment. You don't say you want love and then you what? Chase emotionally unavailable people. All right. It's just do those things. All right. Just owning it. Okay. That is part of my shadow. It ain't going nowhere. Just like your fear. All right. It's not going anywhere. You don't destroy the fear. All right. You see what it's saying to you. It's part of who you are. All right. So I'm going to bring some awareness into our state of consciousness. I'm going to talk about the fear, and I'm going to talk about the moon. All right. So you can start to understand yourself and the hidden power in gratitude. All right. What does it do? What does it mean? Does it stabilizes my energy? All right. If you feel good for a moment and then you drop back into doubt. All right. Gratitude is in your anchor, keeps you emotionally consistent. All right. Especially if you're trying to manifest some more things in your life. You go from lack to receiving. When you focus on what's missing, your mind searches for more lack. All right. 60. You're 67. All right. So I'm gonna start with your states of consciousness. What are they? All right. And then how to shift you from lack to abundance, to have an abundance mindset. It's all in the mind. So I'm going to talk about states of consciousness for those of you that are not aware. But before I do that, let's go and get into some tarot city energy. I'm probably going to do a collective. Nobody has a question yet. All right. When I'm consciously working on my inner life, on my heart, the spirit in the heart, that's what all resides. The flames of the heart, the fire purifies, illuminates. Okay. A heart that is full of love. And that love is wisdom, okay? You're not escaping this reality. You're being, if you're, okay. Oh, wow, we got the Queen of Swords. Let's go ahead. What is in the divine, the sacred unseen? How do I move forward, even though my mind goes into this negative states? All right. So states of consciousness are simply the different ways your awareness experience reality in any given moment. It's not just what I think, right? It is a combination of your thoughts, your emotions, and your body. That is your level of awareness. All right. Through that lens, all right, how you perceive, how you respond to life right now. Hey, Shirley Evans. Here we go. Wow. This one wants to stay. The Nine of Pentacles. All right. Five of Cups. Grief. And how to sit in that. So 2 9s versus the 5 changes. All right, grieving, fears, loss, and then the Page of Wands here. All right. So favorite kind of juice. Oh, okay, I like this one. Favorite kind of juice. Favorite kind of juice. So that we got fire here, all right? And we know that the Page of Wands represents a heart that is of fire and of course consumes by ego. But one thing about what fire does, it consumes, right? Look at this, the sun. All right. So one thing about what the fire does in this case here, it illuminates, but it transforms the heart. All right. Love that consumes ego burns away falseness, and but fire as living presence, cold belief is intellectual. Fire is alive and it's moving passionately through life. I'm doing good, sweetie, and you? All right. Divinity basically is not distance from you. It's intensely, all right, relational to you. So the divine love here is described as a refining flame. It burns like the sun. All right. But what it burns away is illusion. All right. Fire in the heart here, because this is the heart of the solar system. All right. Emotion is not separated from the divine. It's the doorway to it. But not in a chaotic emotional, refined emotion, love that has passed through a surrender. Okay. So to understand really what this energy is telling you, but when you go to the Page of Wands kind of energy, all right, it says follow your spark. It's telling you to follow your spark. This excitement, take action, even if you're not fully ready. Be bold, curious, and open to new paths here, all right? Trust your passions. It's guiding you. Start the journey. The energy comes after the first steps here, all right? There could be some news coming in today, but it could be a position or leaving a job, leaving a relationship, you know. So you got 8, 9, and then the 5. This is instability. All right. We all go through changes in life. All right. So what are you grieving? Or you want to be clear on a relationship, whether you stand with this person, whether you always have to prove your worth or yourself, you know, your confidence, right? The sun's bringing clarity in a situation. Oh, you like fruit punch. All right. All right. So, you know, Pages Cups is all about staying open-hearted and being curious and let yourself feel without overthinking. All right. Your childhood innocence. As we go from childhood to adulthood, right? We're supposed to be getting more knowledgeable, but then that knowledge got to turn into wisdom. You know, focus on learning, stay present, be patient. All right. Real progress takes time and invest in yourself, in your future. Plant seeds and nurture them daily. All right. So just remember that. And so, yeah. So we understand that in our states of consciousness. It is the lens through which you perceive and respond in life. You change your state and experience it, and then you experience a reality. It changes. All right. So common everyday states: calm, present, clear mind, relaxed body, aware of the moment. You respond. You don't react. Okay. So this your evolution here is to be self-sufficient. All right. When you sit in the 9 of Cups, you're no longer looking for validation, right? No wishful thinking, no stories, just really dealing with life firsthand. But we have Venus in Aries. This is dealing with life firsthand. The sun is also in Aries energy, but so your approach to life is going to be just a little bit different, especially when it comes to Venus energy. And the sun is, of course, the moon will always pull you back. All right, that's what it does. It's an emotion. It's not stable energy, but then the sun is always carrying you forward. All right, so each day we have a choice to, you know, whether do we stand in the middle, and what is your middle? All right, so the middle is where between light and dark, the balance between thinking and feeling and awareness. The middle is where you're present. You're not pulled, okay, by your past or your future. You are center, not reacting or resistance. All right. They don't fight each other. They coexist here. All right. The middle is when your mind and your heart becomes coherent. The mind stops controlling and the heart stops being overwhelmed by emotions. All right. Something deeper begins to guide you. All right. So slow breathing, and you notice something that you pause, you breathe, you pause, you reset. Those pauses, that's the middle. That's where the stillness lives. All right. All right. So yeah. So we got a lot of energy in Aries. We got Venus, which represents the pentagram, the body. This is how you behaving here in this reality, showing up consistently to your life. All right. So strong earth energy here. Many pentacles here represents what? Career, money, health, long-term stability. All right. Weak earth energy here flow. It's no pentacles. So you're seeing pentacles here. All right. What you're not seeing here is swords. There's no separation. There's no distortion. All right. This shifting from the material realm into the emotional, the moon's energy. So, all right. So your awareness. Anybody has a question? Nobody has a question? Oh, hold on a minute. Aries, hey Jason. All right, so understanding a little bit of Venus, the pleasures, the guilty pleasures, overeating, all right, watching your emotions, how to have the balance between too much materialism, all right. I do WhatsApp. I do, oh, you do WhatsApp. I don't do WhatsApp yet, all right. So I'm staying curious, eternal curiosity there, all right. So when we move through these states of consciousness and awareness, all right, fear, anxiety, future focus, your body be tight, racing your thoughts, right? You focus, your flow, you fully engaged, time feels different, effortless in action, all right? High performance, you want to be in this high performance stage with the sun, all right? And then you have gratitude, that love, that open, that's expansive, all right? When you connected, you're receptive, you're powerful for manifestations here. My birthday is 3/21. Oh, you just happy belated birthday. All right. So this for me represents subconscious dream state, thinking less logic here, because you don't see no sword, so it's less logic. All right, more imaginary, emotional processing here, whatever you're dealing with here. A lot of times we rather project our feelings, right, instead of dealing with the pain. All right, it's easier that way. And so just to become more, when you have a high level of awareness, your witness state basically, you observe your thoughts. You're not attached to emotions. All right, you get deep clarity. So the hidden structure between that. All right, every state is made in 3 layers. All right. So the first one is mind. What are you thinking? Your emotions. All right. What are you feeling? Your body, your sensation. You know, you go from tension to relaxation, energy. All right. All those threes together. So we don't have no threes here. Let me see if it's here. No, too much feeling. Look at this. All right. So we got between paralytic fire. No distortion here. All right. Anybody has a question? Go ahead. And what's your favorite kind of juice? All right. I'm gonna talk a little bit about fear. What is fear? All right. I'm going to move forward from the states of consciousness because you got to understand that we don't experience life directly. We experience through a state. All right. You can have the same situation, but a different states of consciousness. All right. So in fear, it could feel like everything's a threat. But in gratitude, it looks like an opportunity here. All right. So understanding your change, because once you change your inner state, your outer reality is going to shift here. That's the real manifestation here. I was talking about that yesterday. States are temporary, changeable, and trainable. Again, states are temporary, they are changeable, and they are trainable. This is what this represents training here. What is you might be being trained by right now when we look at the archetypes of principles of consciousness. I know that's big words. I know. All right. So how to shift from states here with this card here. You change your energy focus. What are you thinking about? All right. Then you do one thing. You change one energy focus. All right. You begin to breathe slowly. You change your body, your posture, and then your movement. All right. You don't have to worry about it because the sun's there. The sun's, of course. is carrying us all with the entire solar system and in our Milky Way galaxy. So to understand that a little bit more, it could get a little bit intense. All right. So we're gonna get into fear and find out what fear is. All right. We're gonna get fear out of the way. Hey, with my colleague, Pinky, Pink. Hello, will my colleague D try to start an argument with me next weekend when I work? What's going on, Pinky? We'll find out in a minute. All right, but I want to talk about fear and then the moon. All right, because it reveals your inner blocks. Fear shows you limiting beliefs or conditioning. All right, where you feel unsafe. Let's see if we get the moon. If you still hear Pinky, go ahead. Let me know that you're here so I can go ahead with your question. I want to see if we get the moon right now. All right. Maybe I can see what's trying to come online next. What are you being trained for? All right. One more. One more. All right. So you got some drama. We all got drama. All right. The Four of Wands. All right. The container here. All right. When everything feels right. So between illusions, projections, living in fantasy, and making things real. So feeling more grounded. All right. So the Four of Wands energy is wanting something real. Wanting something that, right? That is celebrated. I want to be seen. I want to be celebrated. Something solid, inspiration. I want stability. Okay? Somebody might want stability, but it has a problem communicating or making it real. Seeing things clearly. This is a lot of moon energy here. All right? It might be stuck in kind of this could be a subconscious pattern here. All right? You got Leo's energy here. You also have Scorpio. For me, that, because, that's the past energy, and Scorpios brings those memories up, especially when the moon is in Scorpio. But the Four of Wands is the energy. I feel safe here. This feels right. All right? It's how grounding and mutual structure, stability forms. The foundation energy, security. Because the ones they stabilize through shared direction and action here. All right? So if, let's say somebody has a hard time choosing you, all right? They care, but the energy is a little bit they could probably get overwhelmed by a lot of emotions, or maybe wanting to do so many things and not being able to perform here. All right. So it is not frantic, it's not chaotic, it's not secretive. All right, let's go ahead, Pinky. So understanding when you see this energy here, and then understanding the novelty. All right, there goes the Magician. All right, Pinky, let's see if somebody will start an argument with you. They probably addicted to conflict. Some people, they feel like that's just the way to control things. If I stay in this mindset, they like it. Some people are addicted to the drama. All right, we got a lot of drama addicts, and learning how to have those shifts throughout the day is important. All right, how not to get caught up with other people's drama. All right, so let's see here. Yes or no? One more. One more. One more. One more. I'm going to look at the heart of the situation. The Queen of Wands. Let me look at the goal. Their goal. Because you got the Queen. Who's this Queen of Wands? All right. You got you threatened. They threatened by you. All right. I think they like you. All right. So they could be a little chaotic. They got two ace. I don't know if you got a better job position here. All right. You was offer, or there was some kind of offer here. All right. So yes. Only because they feel like, you're a threat. Okay. So yeah, do you want to share anything here? So there's a threat here. You're a threat to them. I don't know if it's your position at work. I don't know if you are, because this is a leader. All right. She's in that inspired kind of energy. It's like something that you do just don't, you know. They don't like some things about you. It's like somebody that smiles in your face. Let me go into what's the tea because we got a little bit of drama going on. All right. So the Ace of Wands, that yes, 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 and yes. All right. Yeah. Oh, they want it. That's what it is. Wow. But they just talking. It's just old talk. They just talking behind your back. All right. They're just talking behind your back. Don't feed into this energy. No, don't. You don't have to do anything. Just don't feed. If you don't feed, it's okay. All right. They like to get the fire started. Let's see what comes out here. All right. Uh-oh. Let me see. One more. I let the cards for haunted memories, trauma. All right. I don't like to control the cards. I just let them do the energy moves because, we have astral and the earth, of course. It cuts off. It exposes. All right. And so understanding when the cards flip or they fall, that is the earth just want to be included. It is no superstition. It is no kind of nonsense reflecting. All right. So it could be something that you posted. All right. Bankruptcy. And they're holding grudges here. All right. I don't know if you work in what kind of department you work for. All right. I don't know if this is, you have to do something with HR, bank. All right. So they want you to reflect. All right. There could be, I don't know if you have friends on social media. All right. It could be about somebody. All right. And this could be a person that has a lot of trauma, side effects, memories, and flashbacks. All right. So you don't have nothing. They got a grudge against you. Like I was telling you, fake smiles. I told you, don't worry about this energy. So you have Gemini. You got Taurus energy here. All I see here, Taurus, Gemini, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy here. All right. So be careful. I don't know. Are you what's your sign? Because you're coming up with the Libra kind of energy. For me, every time I get this, I get kind of Libra energy. All right. So, or Aquarian. Good luck. All right. Just don't feed. Take time to breathe, relax before you react. All right. Aaron Force 995. Before you react, right? Pause for a minute. All right. Just think about she is going to brush me. I'm sorry. I didn't hear. All right. So just before anything happens, all right, just pause and ask yourself, in a year, if nothing changes, right, what will you do? I don't want you to think so far ahead because she's all about moving forward. All right. Oh, she's a Taurus. I knew there was a Taurus there. I knew it. So you're a Virgo. Okay. All right. So use your assertiveness. So how to become basically the queen of, I don't want to use the same words, right? Because you're going to miss the message here. So between assertive and kind. Finding the middle between assertive and kindness. All right? How to be firm, like a firm handshake, but being like honest about how you feel. You know how you give somebody a firm handshake, but that doesn't mean that you're going to manipulate me. Still shake hands if you have to. All right? Some people are just talk. So don't worry about me. For me, when you get that energy, just try to stay in the middle here as much as you can. All right? Pull back slowly, but kindness and to be assertive. The middle between that is having a stable flow kind of energy. All right? You're not going to get moved. You're not going to get moved by that. All right? You got to understand jealousy is part, their shadows might be acting out. And a lot of times they might not be aware of it. They could have had trauma that they haven't dealt with. All right. They're projecting their fears and things like that on you. All right. But you got 2 earth signs there. All right. So basically, yeah. okay, I really want to fight because they are threat. I know it showed there, but they gave you the reflective kind of energy. All right. No, don't do that. You don't feed in. That's the problem now. It's just words, and it's okay. This is you got two problems. Bring it to the authority, because somebody that's in a position of authority. Either you could embody that energy of the Queen of Wands, right? How to be assertive and kind at the same time. Just let them know. That's the way you look at people. Your presence. When you walk into the room, you gotta walk into that room like you own it. You understand me? If you give their words or their threats, I will call the authorities if I feel unsafe. All right? Hold on. Just don't feed into. I won't feed into it. Just don't feed. You already know it's gonna happen. I'll bring it to the boss, whoever's in charge there. She said you're in a position of leadership. All right, be the leader. Lead with your mind, your heart. So this is where you go into heart and mind coherence, where your thoughts, your minds, and your emotions are synchronized, working together. So basically, to bring harmony into your working environment instead of overthinking everything. All right. So you're gonna have to. It's like your heart is gonna be like, well, do this, hurt them, but then in your heart, all right. You gotta let both systems. You gotta move together with one direction here. When the heart and mind are coherent, often you're gonna experience clarity, decisions. You're gonna feel, you know, more control with your energy. So when you focus on what's going well, and I don't know what else to do because I don't deal with a lot of drama. So all right, I know how to handle in situations like that. You go get somebody else involved. That's it, and that'll shut it all down. All right, because it could be something that see when you understand your heart, because what's happening in the body when you get those moments like that. This is why they gave you the reflective energy. uh Understanding your, it could be a neurological signal. There's an emotion there. Something's gonna just trigger you. So how do you just sit and let that calm happen? When you breathe a couple of breaths before you walk in there, it's gonna shift your energy. But if you don't do that, then of course you're gonna feed into the energy. Your heart is your heart is gonna send signals quickly to your brain, and you're gonna process information more clearly. This is why I always like to explain a little bit what does breathe work does. All right, but for you to really understand, you know, your heart is not just a pump. It has its own electrical and neurological signals. All right, so you might get a lot of emotions, right? So when your heart rhythm becomes smoother and more ordered, all right, you're gonna feel more stable. But breathe work is important. I always want you to understand a little bit of what I'm saying and why it's important. This is why the one of the most things that we gotta understand. All right, especially when it comes to arguing with somebody else. Your body's gonna respond. So you gotta understand the mind. The body goes way before the mind could catch up. All right, be like, wait. So just don't feed. Is the only way I could help you. I could help you understand things differently. All right. So you could become more aware. I just want you to become more aware of yourself. All right. We lose so much because we think that, and then holding a grudge too. When we hold a grudge, it feels powerful. But it actually is not. Your energy gets tied to the other person. All right, who hurt you, and when you realize it, you be like, wow, right? So forgive them, and that's gonna free you. All right. One of the most, and this, you got a very spiritual energy, by the way. And one of the most quickest way, the deepest spiritual muscles that you have to soften your heart without weakening it. All right. It clears your space between you and the other person. Just forgive them and let it go, and go get somebody involved. That's what I would do. All right. I'm not gonna give nobody my time of day. I don't fold that easy. All right. Look, it came out again. Look, wait. I just shuffled the card. Anyway, it was there, but it left. Queen of Wands. They just bored. Your person's just bored. I guess somebody gets more attention. Somebody gets more attention. Your person is lacking novelty. There's something in their brain. It could have trauma. They're trying to project that on you. You got to understand the way the people that sit justice. Alabama slap. Wow, you are old. My dude right there. You got the Alabama slammer. I know a little bit about the Alabama slammer. I heard that back in the 90s. Wow, how old are you? To have a name like Alabama slammer, what, you in your 60s? You got to be in your 60s. How old are you, Alabama slammer? Oh shit! Did you drink Alabama slammer? You got toasty. You only 25? Who gave you that name, Alabama Slammer? How you got the Alabama Slammer? And you like, bro, I'm 25, yo. What are you talking about? Who gave you the Alabama Slammer? What? You really from Alabama or you just got that name? Bruh, I'm 25. Bruh. You're welcome, Pinky. Bruh, I'm 25. What are you doing with a name like that? That's what I want to know. The Alabama Slammer. Deep South, man. Wow. I ain't seen that name in a long time. You have a question? Wow. Alabama Slammer. Wow. I ain't never thought I would see that here. Alabama Slammer is a wrestling move and I made it. No, well, because you're young, but that doesn't come from that. Sorry. That's a drink. That's a drink. They just use it. You can use anything. You can use anything. You can turn anything into anything else. This is what we have. We have 17,500 different ethnic backgrounds, groups. All right. We have so much information. We have too much information. All right. It's just a drink. It's just a drink that people used to make back in the old South. You could just go look it up. All right. That's why I'm like, wait a minute, Alabama Slammer. It's just like that corn liquor. You guys think that things that you got is been passed down. All this stuff is just symbolic. All right. We just look at the emojis. I'm gonna come tomorrow. Friday or Saturday. We're gonna look at the emojis. It just stuff gets passed down. Everybody turns it into something else because we just want to be unique. This is why we have almost 45,000 different denominations. Oh no, I can make it better. No, this sounds different. It's all your perspective. All right, but this stuff that's been passed down. All right. But hey, you got to make it unique. All right. We use different words, but to really come down to what they mean. All right. Anyway, we only had our English language for 600 years from our evolution, 1,600 years or so? All right. So we're a Middle English. All right. Let me go ahead and talk a little about fear and how you don't destroy your fear and to really understand your states of consciousness. Who else got a next question? I made it right. So you a rapper? All right. Nobody else has a question? What's your kind of favorite juice? Oh boy. That's it. Nobody has a. All right. So I'm going to finish with gratitude. And then I'm going to talk about fear. And then I'm out of here. All right, let's get the gratitude moments and what is gratitude, why it's important, how do you anchor. All right, we did the awakened soul at the beginning. We used those. I'm gonna leave with one gratitude. Oh, you like cranberry? True Kendrick. I'm Kendrick Lamar. Blah 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 blah. Man, I forgot that song. Every time I see Kendrick, I think about Kendrick Lamar. I got a fucking problem. That was one of my favorite songs when I was real hood. And I gotta like it, bitch. I gotta with the hood. Yeah, real. Wow, I just seen that name, and I thought about Kendrick Lamar. All right, let's go ahead. I just thought I gotta be. I can't say that that's low vibrational energy. I like to stay in my high vibrational frequency. I like a bitch. I gotta bring her to the hood. Oh, said that song is coming in. Ooh, let's go ahead. So your name is Kendrick? True Kendrick. Let me see if I get one card. So we're trying to. Well, you don't destroy your fear, because your fear is part of the fear is part of your intelligence. All right, the alchemist. All right, the alchemist and the fool. You don't destroy your fear because it's part of your intelligence. It's not your enemy. So we're going to talk a little bit about fear, because if you try to eliminate, you completely will be like removing your body's alarm system. All right? You will remove your alarm system. And so what fear actually is, it's your protective response, and it scans for danger. All right? It prepares your body to act, and it keeps you alive. Without fear, you wouldn't avoid, all right, real risk, like the fool. All right? So you know better. When you know better when you see this. Hey, daughter of the moon. Hey, oh, I love that. Hey, moon. Hey, daughter of the moon. All right. So you like cranberry too. Everybody like cranberry. Cranberry. All right. So anyway, you don't try to eliminate your fear, because then, right, you wouldn't avoid real risk. All right. And then you lose your instinct and your awareness. That's what the moon represents. That's what the moon represents. So do you know your fear? The moon sends a signal, and that's what it is. Fear is a signal, not a problem. And why fear is important? Because it protects your survival intelligence. All right? Fear tells you, pay attention. Something needs your awareness. Fear is not, not all fear is irrational. Some is wisdom in disguise. All right? And then in there you have the shadow. So your shadow is going to react, and you're not going to be aware of it. So, hey, be careful. I'm about to show off. You're going to say one thing, but you're not going to do it, because I'm going to pull you back. All right. So to really understand, yeah, that's self-preservation. All right. And yeah. So this is why we got so many different religions. This is why we have some, because we want self-preservation. We could lie to anybody, or even if we don't study scripture, all right, we could make anybody believe anything, and they'll believe it if they weak-minded. You understand? It's all about my self-preservation, what I believe versus what you believe. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of our dual nature is to understand our differences, right? But that's what we do. Well, your self-preservation, what that makes you feel secure, that's good. But we got to be open-minded. We have to be expand our consciousness. All right. Hey, Shamika, how you doing? If you got a question, go ahead. I got a few more minutes. I got 15 minutes. So let me give one gratitude for the collective. I don't think I already did the awakened soul for all 12 zodiacs. And then I would explain a little bit about how to really feel awake. How you know I'm truly awakened, right? Because the awakened they don't fall in love. They rise into it. So what's the part of your routine there that you generally enjoy? Do you have a routine? All right. Without no routine, without no structure, right? We will collapse. We need it. All right. So anyway, again, fear is important. It protects your survival intelligence. Fear tells you to pay attention. Something needs awareness. And it's wisdom in disguise. Fear is the opposite of courage. All right. So if everything was blended, you couldn't tell the difference. All right. We can have everything blended up. You have to have polarity. Finding the middle between extremes, basically. So I'm going to go a little more deeper here. Hopefully my question isn't too vague. There's nothing vague about. Listen, I love them. All right. If you understand vague, all right, you have to understand specific. So vagueness is the things that are not really abstract. can't really point my finger. I love it. That is my expertise. There's nothing that can be too vague for me. No. All right. I run into the vagueness. All right. I give you the vagueness, so then if you don't understand the vagueness, you can't understand the specific. All right. And I'm glad that you asked me that. A lot of Aries, they don't like vagueness. Oh, it's gotta be. You gotta tell me exactly. I gotta stay conscious. If not, I don't understand all that. Process information for some people, they can't really do it. So that you ask me that, what is your sign? You have to be something else, like a Libra, but there's something different. Please tell me that you're an Aries or Libra or a Virgo, not Virgo, not even. All right, you got like a water Scorpio. Do something around there, only because you're using the moon. All right. Hopefully my question is too vague. All right. No, I run to vagueness. They're not specific. They're weird. You gotta really be actual. No. All right. I'm in the cusp. I'm in the cusp. People, I know when the people that they ask me questions, I understand. Yeah. Yeah. So you're deep. All right. So you're in the cusp of Aries. All right. Yeah, they deep. You're deep. So when's your birthday? You just finished your birthday? But you're a Taurus. Oh, you're a Taurus. Oh, so you. Oh, okay. I see. All right. So you're a Taurus. That's weird because a lot of Taurus, the Earth energy. No, 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 no. Wow. So where's your moon at? Where's your moon? Your moon. I want to know where's your moon. Your moon is deep. Do you have Scorpio moon? Anyway, even it doesn't really matter because at a different degree, you're Scorpio. You're Scorpio from a 6 degree angle. All right. When you look at the wheel, anyway. All right. So you're Scorpio at the same time. And then you got Libra, the balance. So I like that. But anyway, the opposite is courage or fear, and then it's love. All right. And then the most common answer, why fear forces avoidance, right? Courage enables action despite of feeling afraid. All right. So love, which connects rather than separates us. I think it's Cancer. I can double check real quick. Yeah, because you got, all right, see if it's Cancer. Because you won't have that name. No, I gotta stay in this reality, But I'll find out here how many cards you get here. But I got a few more minutes. All right. Daughter of the moon. All right. So yeah, so understanding a little bit of fear and why you need it and the calmness and confidence. All right. And of course, it's emotional oriented. It's our connection to, of course, our sacred, the dark side of Mother Nature herself. All right. It's what pulls your emotion. It's not a stable energy. All right. So every day, we make decisions, but we don't have to make decisions every day. We make one channel. We choose a channel. We get into that frequency. Think it's Cancer. Okay. What she's checking. All right. So anyway, so we understand that it's emotional oriented trust. And it's considered love, the absolute opposite here because it eliminates insecurity that causes fear. All right. And so the shadow side, it can be unclear that energy with because it represents the moon. So the moon gives you that fear, but the shadow side, because it's supposed to be love, nurturing. Oh, it's 11 degrees in Leo. Wow, wow. You're deep. Wow, you are real deep. Wow. My moon is 11 degrees in Leo. So basically, Virgo. Let me see. Man, do I do my math quick? Man, if I was saying, could that have been a new moon? Okay, so we got so new moon. If it's 11 degrees, I think you got a waxing. Right now we on the waxing crescent. Then you had after the new moon, we got Leo, Cancer, Leo at 11 degrees. That'll put you at a waxing. You got a waxing energy. That your power grows. You're right in the center of it. I like that. All right. So anyway, routine part of the day. How not to get caught up between the extremes. So when the temperance shows up here, right? Let me just say, it's asking for sustainable flow, not fame or feast. If you have difficulty budgeting, space your spending or pace them, however you want to understand. All right. If you have a problem integrating two incomes, all right, or plans properly, the challenge is to learn how to hold two truths at once. All right, instead of reacting today, say, you know what? Can this both things be true? Can I hold them? Do I have the capacity? Do I let things just flow? And because this is not a dramatic kind of energy, all right? It's the art of not overreacting, all right? So, challenge here. Do I let them flow, or do I let my intense energy, all right? Do you have a question? Go ahead. All right, so basically, at a smaller scale, because if we really want to get to the alchemist, if we really want to get, yeah, you real deep, yeah. So you're check if you're a waxing crescent, because at Leo you got Cancer, right? And then at 11 degrees there, I consider a new moon, but that right after the new moon, uh, it becomes the waxing crescent for 7 days, or then you could have the waxing gibbous because of your Leo energy. It's all about expansion, seeing things clearly, understanding life. Yeah, yeah. I like that. All right. You find out if you were in a wax in a wedding. All right. Because a lot of us, when we got the new moon, we get carried away with the next shiny thing. Yay! So we got to be careful with that. When we see the next thing, wow, that looks better, and then we leave what we're doing. Huh? You was waxing gibbous. I knew it. See how I could tell just by the degrees. So I'm like, wait a minute. But anyway, look. So basically, we got to be careful with that new moon. So under this waxing moon, yes, you invite. Once you set that intention, the manifestations. Yeah, yeah. I just could look at it. I just could look at the degree. Thank you for giving me the degree, though. So so basically, when we get that wax and gibbies, you continue, your manifestation power grows and grows. And you don't abandon the things that you were doing. You don't. You don't get carried away with the next thing. You keep a more grounded approach. You stay present in the body because, of course, you're sensing things. Is this real? You know, you're patient while waiting for results. You know, that kind of stuff. So you're good with resources, managing, handle finances, energy. Very wise energy here. You know, just with your moon, I would be able to tell you a little bit more. You know, and then your sun. Your sun is all about you being, you know, you don't have to go to these extremes. I want clarity on every situation. You know what feels good. Your instincts, you got really, really good instincts, all right? And so, yeah, your power is there, your growth, your faith, your confidence, all right? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I could just tell with your name. I said, wow, you're really deep, all right? Yeah. Your friends should feel you if I was them, all right? You know, you don't struggle with communication, you know. You don't need all this reassurance. I don't think so, not with that waxing energy. You know, you don't need that emotional safety all the time. You know how to ground and be balanced. All right. And so, you know, your evolution is moving towards clarity and, of course, inner strength. All right. So you don't stick with confusing things a lot. Yeah. Hey, King, right, the guy. Hey, Roy. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. King Rye, the guy. That's it. Nobody has a question? We're done? Anyway, so to understand a little bit more, the opposite of courage, and you don't destroy fear because fear is part of your intelligence. It's not your enemy. All right? Amuna, you must see, Amuna, you don't have nothing to do with your time. You have nothing to do. I feel so sad. I feel sad for you. You have no, let me see if you just clout. Let me see if you just, let's go in the tea. You just don't have nothing else to do with your life. Nothing. It's almost 5 o'clock. What are you doing with your time? Go help. Go donate some items. Go help the poor. Go feed the homeless. Do something with your time. This is what happens when we got idle hands. We don't do. You ain't got nothing else going on in your life. That's pathetic. Just pathetic. Look at that. A coward. Look. Get them pimples out your face. Probably got a disease. Look at that. Look at you. Nothing. Look, look. Look at that. Cyberbully. A bully. Getting information, do nothing. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. Nothing. Just ratchet. All right? Probably got a disease. Go to the doctors. All right? Go scream at the wall. Go yell at the wall. Go punch the wall. Go pound sand. Go kick rocks. And go learn something. All right? Go learn something new. You need it. All right? Don't come up in here because I'm going to light you up. I'm going to light you up. All right? If you came in here not knowing nothing, you're going to learn something real quick. How dumb you really are. That's all you're going to learn. That's all you're going to do. All right? Can you make me rich? Can you focus on your growth? It's all up to you. I can't make you rich. Hey, Divine Father. All right? I will not deal with ignorance today. Can you answer my question, please? You asked me a question. Give me the energy read. Wow, you really want me to give you an energy read? Yes, I'm very independent. I'm definitely seeking clarity. I wasn't sure if the person I was thinking about see me, or if he's forgotten. Daughter of the moon. Let's go ahead with your question. I'm going to extend this live. Next time when you come in, ask the question. It's okay. This is why we're here. It's in the title. One question, love or finances. Come in, greet me, and ask the questions. At 5 o'clock, 5:15, I'm going to extend my energy unto that time. All right? When will Bitcoin get back to... Oh, wow. What happened with Bitcoin? I haven't followed, since 2023? Since 2023. Yes, sweetie, I got it. I got King the right guy. I got it. But I had to check Miss Miserable and Miss Amuna, 8054. When you do, that's what happens when you deal with low vibration and emotional intelligent people, and you're narrow-minded, you think everybody's lying. Change your change your energy focus, all right? You're looking at the wrong people. That's what happened. They coming back. Oh, they love you so much. Oh my God. That's why I'm lying, because you don't know me. All right? Go ahead and go to the doctors. Get yourself checked. That's what you do. All right, let's go ahead. Go yell at the wall. Go yell at the wind. Go outside. Ah, do that. Or go sit and meditate. It won't be today. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to go hood on you real quick. Oh, sweat. All right. Hey, Brooks. No. I'm just stoned. I hit the wall. Oh, boy. Can you get my answer? You got to wait a minute. True Kendrick. Oh, you didn't ask me any questions, did you? I don't think, but let me go ahead with Daughter of the Moon. You guys come back tomorrow. And let me go ahead. The person I'm thinking about see me, or if he forgotten you. Let's see if he forgotten you. All right. Yeah, when we come in, we got to be mindful. Come on Mindful Mondays. So you can learn a little bit of what my mindfulness is and what it does for you. All right. How to help you. We got, we almost got the 5 of Cups. When we practice mindfulness, it's just a therapeutic practice, and it goes along with your therapeutic practice on your shadow. So you can deal with your anger, your jealousy, right? Your obsesses. That's all it is. When you own it and say, "Oh, I'm not jealous." Yeah, well, then you're not moon. Then you're not in this world. You're in a whole different galaxy. You're not here. You're not part of our solar system. You're somewhere else. You're not feeling. You're not feeling nothing. You're not even in your mind. To be in your right mind, right? That's a blessing. I'm grateful for that. What are you grateful for? That I'm in my right mind, that I don't have to have people making decisions on my behalf. Here we go. Let's go ahead to Daughters of the Moon. If your person is seeing you, yes or no. One more. And thank you. All right, let's see here. The heart, and then I'm going to look at the conscious. All right, so the heart here is the 3 of Swords. Wow. How old are you? They avoiding heartbreak here. All right? Who break whose heart? All right? You got a lot of fire energy. All right? So their conscious goal is to keep you at a distance here. I don't know if you broke their heart, all right, or there was some demands, all right, on the heart. They still processing some things that they wanted that to be true or believe something that wasn't true, all right. So no, no, and yes, in the future, not right now, all right. You got what in the bottom. You could have this new beginning here, but there's a choice here. So when you choose, when we choose, all right, we don't want to make decisions every day. We should just make the decision. We get to choose when you get the Lovers, not to get caught up in the loop. You choose, and then the answer appears for you. All right? You understand? The Two of Swords is avoiding. I'm avoiding because I don't want to be hurt. All right? So that you hurt them, they hurt you. All right? I don't want to make no decisions yet. So the conscious goal is to keep themselves safe by not making a decision yet. All right? So they're not really, there's a card of avoidance. All right? Gonna be 32 in April. He's an Aries. It is a mutual heartbreak. Even though the connection was powerful, we both had obstacles, so it didn't manifest. But the energy is still there. Okay? Yeah, it's still here with the Ace of Wands. You could rekindle this, but this is what needs to... See, you can't go into this. You will have to start all over again. You got to understand the emotional container here. There's no container here. All right? Where's the Four of Wands? We can't go back to a choice. We can't go back to this. Look at this. Look. Look at this. You go back to heartbreak, and then you have to agree. So the Three of Swords, do you release? Do you get clear? All right? Do I agree the person, the hope that I have for the situation? Do I release? Right? Do I grieve the potential that I had? Not the person. You're grieving the potential or the safety or the security. All right? What you thought the relationship was going to be. Or do you get what? All right? You get clear on what you want. Release, grief, or get clear. I got to have some clarity. Love doesn't have no clarity. It's an emotion. Love is the decision that we make, because this is why it's here. This is a decision that is held over time. Not when emotions are really high, not when it's really low, not when it's intense, not when it just feels good. Love is a choice we make to stay with the person when things are not so good. Some of us, we can stand it. We go, look, we can deal with a lot of what? Discipline. So we get off. When tension feels, we always going to be under tension. We live. No tension, no evolution, no growth, no art, no nothing. There's no meaning in life. There's no awareness. We have to go and we have to learn how to process our emotions. But we have to have a container to feel it. So if there's no container, there's no healing. Listen, I love this energy to really understand the Three of Wands. It's not that love was wrong. It's not that I did it wrong. All right? It's that this has to bring me awareness so I could choose, right? Because now we're going to choose more consciously. You know, we're going to become more aware. This is not heartbreak forever. All right? This is not self-betrayal. This is not delusion. This is that I needed to learn some things so I could understand myself at a higher level of awareness. And this is where the Sun comes in. You don't get straight to the Ten of Cups. So somebody is lying to you. This is why Miss, what's her name? I'm going to go back to what she said, because she's been hurt. She's been hurt, Miss Amuna, and somebody told her that they're coming back, that they're going to be with you. Right now, the decision is here. The Lovers is all about intensity, growth, temptation, all right? Your soulmate, your soul's path, the person that you mirror, all right? But it's a card of what? Of choosing. You make that, you got to choose. Maybe they're afraid to choose. Somebody's afraid to choose. If I choose, every other path is going to close. But I still want to do other things in life, all right? So to really understand this energy, but somebody lied to you, said, yeah, you got to do the emotion, you got to do the healing, you got to get clear, you got to make a decision. Without those things, you'll get stuck in this too. You stay stuck in this too, and then you wonder what happened. We choose, and then we let the Sun do the rest. Carry me on my appointed path at the end of the day. We don't want to stay living in this world where we constantly going back and forth between, the fantasy of what could be, not dealing with the heartbreak. Heartbreak is temporary. We got to really understand that. Anyway, I'm going to take another question. Come back so you can really understand. I wish I could put all the energy for the Three of Swords and understand that it needs a container. You need to rest, when there's no clarity, and that's part of you taking care of yourself. You can call it whatever you want. You have to have a more experience, all right? You don't go straight into the 10. You don't go straight into the 10 of Cups. I'm sorry. Tarot doesn't punishes you. It liberates you. It asks you, what it is that you really want. Remember, the awakened no longer fall in love. They rise into it. It's calm. What happens when it's calm? When there's nothing really happening. But when the fear kicks in, we get so scared. There's nothing happening. You're okay. We got to really understand, our fears. We don't destroy the fear because it's part of your intelligence. It's not your enemy. All right. But when we really try to eliminate it, all right, we remove the alarm system. So paying attention to those things. You really got to know yourself. This is what the part when I get to really know thyself. All right. The Brooks Bank, I could give you a card. All right. I got to go. Let's go to What's the Tea. There is no general read. A general read consists of me be here for a half hour. That is a really, really deep energy. Let's give you your What's the Tea. Now, so you really got to understand love. Love versus emotion. It's somebody that holds me over time. It heals me. Love does two things. If love only exposes you and leaves you naked, love got to do both. It got to hold you and it got to heal you. But if you leave me naked and if you don't take care of me, right, I'm vulnerable. Mango. You like mango juice? You got to really understand uninterested here. Somebody's uninterested. Maybe if you go to be careful, may your car, you drive. All right. And sexual infections and diseases. All right. Apple juice for Alyssa. Be careful with catching a case, a disease, infection, a rash. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. And uninterested here. All right. All right, I got to get straight to the exposure. I love you guys so much, and I see you guys. But to really get to that Three of Swords, it's really, really deep when you don't really understand it. Yeah. All right. I gave that to you. That's what showed up. Okay. But you really got to understand the Five of Cups. It tells a deeper story. All right. It's regret. It's truth. All right. But it's taking accountability. All right. Realizing your role and what happened, So there could be some we gotta get correcting on some things here. But the Three of Swords is one of the most clearest cards in the tarot deck. All right, and it's the most misunderstood. You gotta really understand symbolically. It's truth. It is truth, piercing, illusion. It is the expansion. It is expanding awareness through pain. It is initiation to what? Into discernment. Okay. And when you understand the mental clarity cutting into the heart, the pain comes from understanding, not just feeling. All right. So you, when you really understand, oh, wow. All right. I'm realizing something that I hoped for wasn't true. All right. The information comes in quickly. And by the time oh, man, I can't process it. Right. This is when the information arrives too soon. Sharply seeing when something you thought, oh, man, I hope that this is true. All right. So understanding the gentle side of love and the aspect of love, nurturing and healing. All right. It's patient kindness. It's listening. It's forgiveness. All right. It's accepting to be seen. All right. For love, it's a high frequency. All right. You really got to understand you've got a beautiful gift. You too, sweetie. You're a gem as well. But to really understand it, that card is not what you think it is. But because people baby that card because they're not really aware of what it's saying to you. All right. You got three things to do. All right. You get clear on what you want. All right. You get some rest. Rest is you giving yourself that self-love, that healing. You need it. Now you're going to repeat the same cycle with somebody else. That's all. And then you be like, oh, do you get exhausted? Oh, I can't take it no more. I know I been there, done that. All right. And so that card is asking you so many things here. But when you're not really aware of the freedom, because it's about to free you. Now you're going to choose from a higher level of consciousness. You're going to become more aware. You're going to choose differently. All right. But you got the power to manifest and to bring in the love, whatever it is that you want to experience. You already had the heartbreak from a lower level of consciousness. Now you have it from a high. It's not going to go away. You're just going to be able to choose different. That's it. We always under constant tension. And when you understand what tension is, all right, the two polar opposites, you're going to have the experience. We live in comparison. That's how our brain understands things. All right, symbolically, all right, what does it really mean? The mystery behind it, okay, the vagueness, the things that you really can understand. So when you come in and ask for vagueness, I'm going to help you understand that Three of Swords. It's not what you think it is. It is truth, piercing, illusion, all right? And then we understand it different because we experience life through a certain lens. All right. And so the more you grow in awareness, all right, and understand that love versus emotion, you'll be more, wow, I'm so thankful that I get to experience this. I could forgive, I could let go, I could allow myself to move forward without carrying the past. All right. That's the Six of Swords energy. All right. But you reduce the mental output, less explaining, less revisiting the past. We need to move forward. We don't want to, because we think, oh, I'm never going to meet somebody like that. That's a lie. They just taught you how discerning and how to be emotionally intelligent. All right. So when the three of swords shows up, all right, emotion and reality, all right, they're no longer aligned. So that inspiration collapses into honesty. You start romanticizing what hurts. And with that being said, I love you guys and I have to go. I see you guys all tomorrow as I be talking about the Three of Swords over and over and over again. And the shadow misunderstanding that people think that card means. It is not permanent heartbreak. All right. It's not emotional damage or cruel endings. All right. Tarot doesn't trap you. It liberates you. All right. The pain is temporary and the rain clears. All right. First, it creates space when healing can actually begin. Good night. I love you guys. Bye bye. Thank you. All right. All right, daughter of the moon. You're gonna be okay. We all gonna be okay. We here, you know, just traveling through, and we don't let our emotions, you know, define us or hold us back. We move forward. This is what the sun energy is all about. All right, having that confidence and being clear about what you want, and at the end of the day, manifesting. You don't have to chase anything. You don't have to. We don't have to chase nothing. All right. And so tomorrow I'm gonna. If I don't come in tomorrow, I'm coming on Friday, for sure, and then Saturday. I have to go. I have to get ready for work. I'm sorry, Mark. All right. I love you guys so much, and I see you guys tomorrow. All right. You guys be blessed. Stay blessed, and you know, be safe out there. Okay. Let your fear move you forward.